Hello everyone and welcome to my answer session for my 500 subscriber Q&A session. We're going to play Oblivion for a little bit. The picture quality for these videos isn't going to be so good because I figured we're not really playing the game. I'm just going to wander around in it, and I'm just answering questions, so it's not really about the game. So I thought I'd just lower the quality a little bit so it'll be easier to upload, because there might be a few of them, because I got a lot of questions. So I'm also a little bit hungover this morning, too much Guinness last night. But I said I'd do it on Sunday, so I'm doing it on Sunday. So I've written all the questions down. I haven't written like who asked me what.
What is it now?
So, but I've written like what you asked me. So okay, let's start walking, shall we? This is I just made this character. He's just I took him to Shaden Hall. He's just a level 1 Breton generic kind of guy. I don't even know if you're going to be able to read this, but that's him. Alright, let's start walking, shall we? And first question: how do you make your voice sound like it does? Well, that's a different question. I don't like change my voice. This is how I talk. So you know, I just talk. You know, I mean, I'm not like putting on a different voice or anything. I don't know whether I missed anything in that question. But how do you make your voice sound like it does? I don't know. It's just how it is. I'm sorry if it sounds weird, but I'm stuck with it, I'm afraid. Next question: what do you use to record your LPs, and what do you do for a living? I use Fraps mostly. Like now, I'm using Fraps. If I'm using if I'm recording, say Golden Axe, like anything in a window on my desktop, I'll use Cam Studio. But mostly, I'll be using Fraps. And what do I do for a living? I work in a warehouse. I send out broadband packs, actually, for a major internet service provider. So I'm working on a wrapping machine, sending those out. I could do better. Honestly, I could do better, but it pays the bills. But I should better myself. I've been there too long now. I need to move on. Have you ever played Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo? And if so, what did you think of it? No, I haven't. I'm afraid I haven't even played on a Super Nintendo. I didn't own one, and I haven't played one. I know. Don't block me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll look down. I'm sorry, because I haven't played on a Super Nintendo. As far as I remember, I haven't played on one. I had a Mega Drive 2. Or is it is that called like a Genesis or something in America? I don't know. But I was playing Sonic and Streets of Rage and Mario and Revenge of Shinobi and stuff like that. I wasn't really a Nintendo kid. I was more of a Sega kid. So no, I haven't. So I can't. I don't know. Do you prefer Morrowind or Oblivion? Why? Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Well, before I answer, even though I have answered in various mediums before, I'll just say that they're both great games. They both have their strengths and weaknesses, and I've got a lot of enjoyment out of both of them. As you see, I own both of them. But I prefer Morrowind because I can overlook Morrowind's faults easier than I can overlook Oblivion's faults. The main problem I have with Oblivion is the scaling. I hate the scaling. Everything's scaled to your level. The loot, the monsters, you know, everything is scaled to your level, so the world effectively remains exactly the same. It's why did they do that? You know, it completely ruins leveling up. I mean, what is the point of leveling up? That was a nice shot. There isn't one, is there? Oh, hang on. I've just turned the cheat god mode on, so now I'm invincible. Because I don't want to be actually playing this game. I want to concentrate on the questions. So yeah, it's Morrowind. I mean, Morrowind has its faults because Morrowind is the combat's rubbish in it. I mean, you saw there, you know, when I was like hacking away at that wolf with my sword, and you know, the blows actually connected with my foe. Also, it's easier to cast spells when you're in combat rather than switching from melee to spells. You know, that's always a pain in Morrowind. It doesn't help that you've got to switch from melee to spells. So the combat's a lot better. Hello. In Oblivion, but Morrowind's got so much more to it. There's so much more soul to it. You know, it's like, alright, so it's a bit vague. It's very hard to get into actually because you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, and there's no real compass. But then again, in Oblivion, the compass really annoys me because it's there all the time, and you can't turn it off except with a mod. And it's just like it points you to exactly where you need to go, and it really annoys me. You know, it's like you don't have to use your brain at all. Oblivion's a lot easier, but is that a good thing? Is that a good thing? I don't really think that it is. If Morrowind had Oblivion's graphics and it had its combat system, because it's got like it's much better with like with archery and stuff, then it would be like the ultimate RPG. But I gotta say, Morrowind, it's like in Oblivion, if you join the Mages Guild, you don't even have to cast one spell to get to be the Archmage. You don't even have to cast a spell. You know, it's ridiculous in many ways. It's much, yeah. It's like they've made it ultra accessible and so easy and streamlined to play that it's not real. You know, it's just don't know. It's just if you take away the glossy sheen from Oblivion, there's far less there than what there is in Morrowind. Alright, moving on. But they're both great games. What is the oldest video game that you have played that you can remember? Well, the one that's probably the oldest that I have specific memories of is a game called Barnyard Blaster, but I don't remember what system it was on. It used a light gun. It might have even been one of those daft VHS tape games that you put in your VCR and it played and used a gun to shoot things on. And it was just like a farmyard shooter where you shot tin cans and all sorts of rubbish like that. And I remember it because at the end of the game it had like 5 levels, and at the end of the game it gave you a rank, and the worst rank was Egg Collector. I remember my dad used to play it sometimes and he was terrible at it, and he always got Egg Collector. He was like, Egg Collector again! He wasn't very happy. So that's what Barnyard Blaster. But I can't remember. I mean, I had a Commodore 64 as well. I remember playing stuff like Turbo the Tortoise and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all sorts of rubbish on that. There was a game where you were a park ranger and you had to collect tin cans and stuff, and half the screen was land and half the screen was water, and there's people drowning in the water and stuff. I remember that as well. I'm not sure which one came first, but Barnyard Blaster stands out for me. What is your favourite gaming console? Well, I've only ever owned 3. I'm not counting PCs here because that's not really a console. I've had a Commodore 64, I've had a Mega Drive 2, and I've had a Nintendo 64. And out of the 3 of them, I have to say that Nintendo 64 just pips the post, because it's games like GoldenEye, Mario Kart, things like that, multiplayer type games. They're just so much fun, and I've had hours of fun on my Nintendo 64, and it's still plugged in actually. So sometimes I have a blast on that. It's which way? Let's go this way. So yeah, my Nintendo 64's got a special place in my heart, so I think I'll have to do that. Okay, next page of questions. Do you like nachos? Yes. Have you ever played any online game this year, 2010, and last year, and if so, what are your favourites? Well, the only online game I've played this year is Titan Quest, which I'm LPing with a user called CJune23, or Chris. Well, last year, I'm guessing by online games you kind of mean MMOs, and the only MMO played I've game I've ever played is a game called Share by Aria Games, and it was a free-to-play game. I mean, you can buy things in the mall to make your character better, but I never spent a penny on it.